there, and welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you are here, and if you're new here, hey, I am April, and yes, you should go ahead and subscribe and be part of the family because we would so love to have you. And of course, welcome to you all for another 90-day recap in which we are focusing on Jenny and Sumit. And yeah, I really enjoyed last night's episode with Jenny and Sumit. It was really fun and very heartwarming in a lot of ways, and also very progressive. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. So we pick back up with Jenny and Sumit as both of them are taking Christine and Jen, her wife, to a Bollywood dance class. And I thought that was really fun. You know, Jenny was really in her element. And of course, so was Sumit. You know, Sumit had shared with us that he actually was a pretty good dancer back in the day. And he got it by just watching a lot of Bollywood movies and just practicing and, you know, mimicking everything. And that's how he learned how to be a very good, dapper dancer. And of course, Jenny had shared, hey, look, you know, I've got some moves too, you know, I've got a little bit of rhythm in me. So it was a lot of fun. Of course, Sumit did have to clap back a little bit on Jenny and share the fact in their confessional that, hey, yeah, she may have some moves, but, you know, Bollywood is more about in the shoulders and in the arms, and not just about, you know, shaking your badunkadunk. So I thought that was just really cute. You know, Jenny and Sumit are really a funny couple at times, so they really enjoyed it. Christine and Jen seemed to really enjoy it, and I was really surprised that they stayed on pretty good rhythm key, to be honest with you. I expected a hot mess, and it really wasn't anything that I expected. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, and it was a lot of fun to just see them enjoying themselves, and you know, Christine and Jen getting a chance to see a little bit of the life of Jenny and Sumit in person. So yeah, it was just very heartwarming, lots of fun with that. And you know, so we kind of just lead in with, after they finished the class and everybody was having a good time, they make it back to Jenny and Sumit's home. And you know, of course, we got to keep the razzing going on. And Christine says, hey, look, me and Jen, we're going to go ahead and really practice this out, and we're going to go ahead and challenge you to a dance-off. So I think that would be really fun to watch that, maybe in one of the episodes, or maybe the tell-all. You know how the tell-all usually has some kind of a surprise element? That would be kind of cool to see a little bit of dance-off. I don't know. I would like it. I'd enjoy it anyways. It's a lot better than the crying and the hollering and running off the stage that we see all the time. So, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's part of what makes the show, isn't it? Well, you know, some people do it better than others. We'll just leave it at that. So, of course, and all of the funness that's going on, you know, Christine asks Sumit, you know, hey, are we going to be able to spend more time with you as far as, you know, us getting together and doing this, or we're going to lose you to work? And, you know, of course, Jenny had shared in her confessional at the Bollywood that, you know, hey, if Sumit didn't work so much, we could do a lot of these fun things together. But, you know, she was very happy and content with the fact that he at least made it to that event. So, you know, there's that. So, yeah, Christine asks Sumit this question. Sumit says, yeah, you know, I'm going to have to go to work. Yeah, and then after work, I'm going to go and meet up with my family. And of course, that intrigues us all, including myself. Like, were you intrigued? I was intrigued. Really? We're doing that now. All right, well, hold on. Here we go. So, you know, he says, yeah, this is what we're going to do. We're going to, you know, probably meet up. And then, of course, we clip to Sumit's confessional. Sumit shares with us that, you know, he hadn't seen his parents since the last disastrous meeting they had when he sprung on them that Tim and Jenny were married. Yes, and we all saw how that went down. It wasn't good. So, you know, he did also mention that after that, he did try to have a meetup with them again, and they didn't show up. So, you know, that was a no-go. I mean, I guess when someone tells you, look, you know, basically you're no longer here to me, you might want to believe them. You know, I mean, disown and all. Yeah, I mean, we all saw it, didn't we? We all saw it. So, but you know, Sumit, he's just trying to keep giving it in that try. He thinks he's going to be able to really wear them down, probably like he wore Jenny down, you know, over the early part of their relationship and getting her to be very comfortable with dating him in the first place. But hey, we'll see if Sumit's charms will, alas, win out. Who knows? We'll see. I will not hold my breath, and I do not suggest you do that either. So, he does mention that. That perks everybody up. Christine says, well, I would love to meet your family. And of course, Sumit's already alibying himself out of this situation, right? He's like, hey, well, I don't know about that. No, I don't know about that. I really don't know. And, quite frankly, Sumit was very shocked that she was interested in meeting up with him, because he had reference back to a previous tell-all where all of them were virtual, and there was a little bit of back and forth between Christine and Sumit's brother. And, basically she was just saying, look, love him, and, you care about him, you allow him to live his life and be with who he wants to be with. You say you are okay with him being with whoever he wants. So why aren't you doing that? Because you remember that Sumit was actually in an arranged marriage before. And so that obviously was a contentious situation all the way to the end. And of course, at that time, Sumit's brother is pretty much all he can get out is, have you seen India? Have you seen India? Have you seen a couple like this? That's just not something that's normal to them in India. But again, Christine, really does hold steady on the fact that, look, you should love and allow love wherever. And that's it. That's basically it. We're not trying to tell people who to marry and why to marry them and all of that. You need to support them. So that's what's left on Sumit's mind, and he's just not really thinking that this is going to be something that's going to work out very comfortably to him. Now, we do clip to Jenny and, Christine and Jen and her confessional, where she says, look, I really would love to meet their family, because at the end of the day, I want to see how Sumit protects and defends my mother. Regardless if you lose the family or not. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to disrespect my mother, and definitely not in front of me. So I'm here for Christine. And I told you in the last coverage I did of them that I just really adore her, and I adore their relationship, and I adore the protectiveness that she has for her mother. And it's just really great to see that. And she's like, look, I got my mom's back. So we're not going to allow that kind of ruckus going on, and especially not in front of me. But then we clip back to the segment scene, and, Christine is further saying, look, I think that it would be a really nice idea, or I would love to do that. And of course, Sumit's kind of, saying, I don't know if that'll be such a good idea. We're not really on such good terms, and I just don't know how that would go. And, Christine says to him, look, we're not going to disrespect your family or your culture. But we're also not going to sit by and let your family berate my mother either. Just like you wouldn't like it happening to you, we don't like it happening to us. And what else can you say to that, right? Sumit is what are going to do? Argue that down? It's truth. It's fact. That is absolutely correct. Because Sumit quickly says in his confessional, because we did a lot of sliding in and out between the segment and the confessionals, where he says, hey, look, he's a little concerned about Christine and the fact that she may kind of go in hard on his family, and, it would force him to have to defend his parents as well. And, this could really cause permanent, irreparable damage with his parents as well as with Jenny. And truth be told, I think we're already at the irreparable damage situation, since he was told by his parents, look, you don't belong in this family anymore. So I don't know, was she just playing? I took his mother's words for face value, and it really was further proven by the fact that everybody just walked out in unison, So yeah, I didn't see anybody saying, "Oh, hold back now, let's not go so far." As far as I'm concerned, Sumit is just, I don't know, possible guest, unwanted guest. Yeah, so I don't know. But that's how he feels, and this is what he shares in his confessional. And, Jen, Christine's wife, is looking at him because she thinks it's kind of funny, I think, a little bit that, what exactly are you worried about? What is that issue? And, he just further just shares that, he's just concerned about how things may really unfold. And, he would need to take some time. He did appreciate the support that Christine and Jen has for the couple, and he definitely shared that he appreciated that, but he needed to take some time to think about it, and Jenny at this point jumps in and says, look, we understand you need to think about it, but this would be a great time, and no better time than now since they're here, and we can all go together, and of course, so she can have that support as well, because she knows when they leave India that she's going to be left to fight this not so good fight all on her own. So she really wants the support. She needs the support, and she's hoping that he will, think that this will be a good thing for them to maybe all come together, at least one last attempt, if anything, right? So, we're left with Sumit kind of pondering that, and we'll have to see what unfolds for the next episode, when I believe we're going to see some type of a meetup. I don't know how successful it will be, but I will be here with bated breath, because anytime I can see a royale on TV in this way, I mean, look, it's a spice of life when it comes to this show, right? So that's pretty much what we're left with in that evening, and then we pretty much move forward into what appeared to be the next day. Of course, Sumit is getting ready to go to work, and him and Jenny have a little bit of cute banter, which is always nice to see, that it's not always chaos, right? So Jenny basically just says, how come you leave so many dishes here for me? You cook the meal, but yet you leave all these dishes. You basically use too many dishes. And so Sumit's like, sorry. So she's like, you know what? You go to work and you use all their dishes. And, he just laughs and chuckles about that. And, he does go on his way. But secretly, because this is what I like about Jenny, right? She's Jenny gives you kind of one persona, but then she shows you something else. And I love that about Jenny, right? Because she's a sneaky little one, isn't she? So she decides to wait till he leaves. She's got her coffee. She's ready to go. Because you know what Jenny is doing? Jenny is about to go ahead and have a conversation with an immigration lawyer. That's right, because Jenny's not playing, okay? So she tells us that she set up a virtual meeting with the immigration lawyer. It looks like an immigration lawyer that's actually in India. And she wants to see what the process is going to be for her to bring Sumit home, because the bottom line is, look, the family does not support their relationship, okay? And the fact that the family does not support their relationship really does put an enormous amount of strain on their relationship, because you got Sumit constantly running back and forth, worried about what his mommy is saying to him and what his daddy is saying to him. And then you have Jenny saying, look, you are my husband, you are my man, and we are to be married and live in a married way. Therefore, we're not worried about parents and what they think, okay? Like, she's very respectful of them, but look, there ain't but any more times that she's going to be called another name or told how dirty she is, right? At the end of the day, Jenny is grown. Like, she's really, really grown. And she's just not taking it anymore. So if they cannot be happy and live blissfully in India, then maybe they can go ahead and give a go to America. The problem is Sumit is not really fond of that. And I believe Sumit kind of shared that a couple of episodes ago, when he didn't seem to be too keen on that idea and said, hey, look, this would just feed into my parents' nightmare that you are trying to take me away. Well, I guess maybe that's self-prophecy. Whatever. At the end of the day, if you're not wanted at a party, you're probably not going to stay at that party. So this is what it is. As far as Jenny's ideas, well, if they didn't have such an issue with us, this wouldn't be a problem. Because really, I think Jenny would love to stay in India, and if not in India full time, at least a good bit of time, But because it's so taxing to be there and actually enjoys heaven, she's just looking for a way out. And I thought it was a matter of time, because I really think that Jenny was extremely patient thus far. How about you? If you thought Jenny has been patient with Sumit, go ahead and drop that in the comment section. Let's start a conversation about it. I would love to know your thoughts, because I feel like he has really put Jenny through some things, and I think that he hasn't always protected Jenny in a way that he should have. That's my unbiased. That is my not so humble opinion. Unbiased. I'm very biased. Anyways, because at the end of the day, I really do, and I know I've shared this before, I believe in the protection and the sanctity of the marriage, and there should be no one trying to attack it from all ends for the stupid reasons that were brought up, and we're not going to go through all of those, right? So anywho, there it is. We see Jenny speaking with the immigration lawyer. She's got questions and she's, really excited. And of course she does, again, let us know that, hey, look, Sumit doesn't know about it. She had to do it behind his back. And because he'd be really upset with her if he knew what she was doing. But the bottom line is, look, she's got to come up with a plan B, and this is her plan B. And with her daughter and her daughter's wife visiting them, it's making her miss being in America more and more. So this is driving this meeting, and we are here for it. I know I am. So basically she lets the immigration lawyer know, look, I'm married to an Indian man. I'm here in India, and I'm looking to bring him home with me to America. So how do I go by the visa process? How does this work? He does ask a few questions, and I think they're pretty what we consider questions that we would definitely expect him to ask and be a focus on, because that's what their whole relationship has been so focused about. And that is, I'm sure you already know, his age, right? If you watch the episode, it's the age. It's the age difference between the two of them. Now, Jenny has shared that she's now 64, and Sumit is 33 going on 34, so we're looking at a 30-year age gap there. And she already knows, but he does ask, basically, can I ask you what your age is? She does. Ask what his age is. She does. And he's like, ooh, okay. And then he says, one major question that's going to be asked in the interview process is why a woman in her 60s would basically be wanting to marry a man in his 30s. Now, Jenny does share, look, we've been together since 2011, and we've been married for the last 4 months, but we've been together since 2011, and we've all seen at least the start of their union on 90 Days. But they had been together a while before I think that they even started, because we haven't been watching them very long, have we? So, she's like, I've been there, done that. I expect the questions, whatever. This is just what it is. Of course, we love each other. We've been together. We're still together. This is not any kind of situation in which you should think anything else other than we just love each other, right? That's basically her thoughts on that. And, he does go and ask her about what her status is in the United States. Is she a spinster, or she was divorced? Was she separated? Because she knows he's married now. And she's like, oh yeah, I was divorced, from her first or previous husband. I'm not sure how many times Jenny's been married, but her previous husband, and it's been about 20 years. And then she asks him what a spinster is. And I'm like, Jenny, give me a break. I know what a spinster is. I've known since I was a kid. But she says she's never heard of it. He does share it's, basically someone who, single, lives alone, and doesn't have anybody. That's basically what it is. But, I just was like, okay, let's with the fakery on that. But okay, maybe she really didn't know. Maybe she didn't really know. I think she did, but let's just move on. Now, the immigration lawyer also asked, do you guys live with this family? Do you live together alone? And she says, oh no, we live together alone. They have a rental agreement that basically shows they're a couple there, so that's a good thing. He then does ask, does the family visit you? And of course she says not much. And then she does further share that the family was not that thrilled about them getting married, that they actually had kept that hidden from them and just had told them after it was done, and they're not too thrilled about it. They don't support it, so they don't really see him very much. And so he's like, okay, well, did the family by any chance put on a police report or complaint in a way to stop this union between you two? And I just was thinking to myself, I was listening to this, and I know that this was an issue in regards to Sumit's previous arranged marriage, and there was the possibility of there being a complaint, and they had to really give them a lot of money basically to get out of the issue of getting a complaint to the authorities for him breaking that arrangement and then being with a woman 30 years his senior. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, how sad, that someone randomly for the stupidest reasons can just go and put a complaint against you because they don't appreciate the fact that you are grown and can make your own decision and getting married to who you want to get married to. I just thought how sad that was, in that moment. But that's, it's a thing, apparently. He says, okay, well, part of the process is Sumit will have to submit a police clearance certificate. Basically, I'm sure something to say that, there isn't anything out on him legally, within the police custody or anything like that should cause any kind of alarm. And, Jenny says, well, I don't think they complained or did a formal complaint or thing like that. I guess I would have to ask him to find out. And he says, well, that'd be a good idea, because if there was such a thing, it may make it hard for him to get that clearance certificate. So here's another, situation, hurdle again that she would have to jump over. Now she does question him. They're not going to really interview his family, are they? Which would be disastrous, I think. And clearly she does too. That's why she asked the question. The immigration lawyer says, hey, look, if the investigator chooses to do so, they could. So, just want to make sure you're aware of that. And then the final blow of the situation, which actually came in the very beginning of the conversation, but I thought I'd save it to last, was him saying that, hey, look, it may take up to 2 years for this process to actually go through because there's such a backlog. So it could take 2 years from the start of the process. So that's already discouraging. And then everything else after that just kind of tumbled down into the abyss for me. But yeah, that's where we're at as far as what she was able to preliminarily get in far as what the visa process would entail. And of course, we quick back to Jenny and her confessional. She says, look, hopefully this dinner or meetup, it's not a dinner, meetup will be successful, or at least it won't end in, somebody walking off and again disowning somebody. But she's hoping that it will be at least a nice setting. Maybe they'll see something different in her because of the fact that she's bringing her family and she's so beloved by them. Anything, I guess, could work. I doubt it, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's what she's hoping. But she says, look, if that's not the case, then, if I'm not going to be wanted, I'm not going to be appreciated here, we're not going to be accepted here, then we need to go ahead and make our trek in America. So yeah, that's where we are left with Jenny and Sumit. So I do hope that you enjoyed today's recap. Make sure if you're new here that you go ahead and subscribe, and make sure you have your notification bell on for all of you, because I will be coming up with another recap. I think the next one we're going to go over is possibly... Usman and Kimberly. I think I want to do Usman and Kimberly next. So yeah, I do hope that you enjoyed today's recap video. I would love to know your thoughts about last night's episode with Jenny and Sumit. Did you enjoy the family bonding time that they had? Because I did. Drop that down in the comment section. How do you think that the potential meetup will be with the family? Do you think it'll be successful? Do you think that somehow they can kind of get through to Sumit's family to get their approval, or at least their acceptance, for starters? What's your thoughts on that? And yeah, so go ahead and drop those down. Let's start a conversation about that. But again, I do hope for you to have a great rest of your day. And yeah, until next time, we'll see you later. Oh, before I pop off, I just want to let you know that right now I currently have, with my Motivation Suite Elements online shop, a Cyber Monday sale that's going through now all the way until December 1st, Thursday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. So make sure that you take a look over there and peruse and get yourself an element, pick up some uplifting joy. And thank you for those who actually did, go out and get yourselves an element. I so appreciate the support. And of course, all of the information I'll have popped up on the screen, and I will also have it down in the description area for you as well as the actual promo code, so you can get your 10% off. So yeah, thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.